All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon, and in this video, we're going to be in the 135-pound division where Bob Arum, the president and one of the founders of Top Rank, had a lot to say about Gervonta Tank Davis, Devin Haney, and Shakur Stevenson in the lightweight division. Hopefully what he says leads to us actually getting to see the fights, but he did say something about Gervonta Davis that you have to take note of. But so let's talk about that in this video. All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon, and in this video, we are going to be in the 135-pound division where we will be talking about some things that Bob Arum had to say about the Devin Haney, Shakur Stevenson, LAOMACHENKO, and Gervonta Tank Davis in the lightweight division. Looks like we're going to be getting one of those fights. Gives a pretty good reason why, in my opinion, and I'm taking what he says and using it in my rationale for why we won't be seeing another one of those fights, and also an acknowledgement that a third fight would be very, very good no matter what anybody else says. Now, before I get into that, though, let me welcome you back to the channel. If you are a longtime subscriber and supporter to the channel, thank you so much for continuing to watch the channel. Thank you so much for your support in the live streams that we do, in the super chats and in the cash apps. And thank you to everybody that supports in the super thanks in videos like this. Also, if you're new to the channel, please accept my invitation to hit the subscribe button. We really do have a lot of very good boxing conversations we have on the channel, and we go back and forth. We don't always have to agree with each other, but very, very good place to talk boxing. So join the family. Now, let's get into this. Bob Arum is the founder or co-founder of he calls himself the founder of Top Rank. That's probably the best way that I should say that, even though people that are real students of the history of boxing, at least in the 1960s, knows that's not exactly true, but save that for another lecture. Regardless, he is the owner and the president of Top Rank Promotions, and he is the promoter for every champion, or the guy that holds every major championship in the lightweight division for the last several years, ever since Mikey Garcia left the division and LAOMACHENKO won his WBC belt. He promotes Devin Haney, who was the undisputed champion at the time. At this time, he has VASYL LAOMACHENKO, who is a former 2-belt holder or a 3-belt holder, however you want to count it. Because I'm not in the mood to argue with Devin Haney fans today. Also, you have Shakur Stevenson, who's who just moved up into the lightweight division from the super featherweight division where he was the unified champion. So Bob Arum said first and foremost, what I think is some good news, that it looks like Devin Haney will be fighting VASYL LAOMACHENKO, that both fighters have agreed to fight, and they are looking for somebody to air the fight. More than likely, it sounds like they're trying to take the fight out of the country because there are people bidding on it that want to pay a lot of money for the fight. So they may very well take that fight overseas. But whatever the case is, they're now trying to finalize it. And I guess that would be the date, the venue, and all of that. And so hopefully we will get that fight between Devin Haney and VASYL LAOMACHENKO, something that I think has been in the works pretty much from the moment that VASYL LAOMACHENKO went to the Ukraine to go to war and did not fight George Kambosos, and Devin Haney came in and fought George Kambosos instead, that fight was going to get made. Now, Bob Arum acknowledged that was the case. Also, he said something about Shakur Stevenson. Someone asked, who do you think will win between Devin Haney and Shakur Stevenson, or Shakur Stevenson and VASYL Lomachenko. And not surprisingly to me, Bob Arum said, look, I think Shakur Stevenson beats both of them. I think Shakur beats Lomachenko, and I think, which is that's the only surprise right there, is that, he said that he believes Shakur Stevenson beats VASYL Lomachenko. That's a little bit of an acknowledgement that VASYL Lomachenko has seen better days, because man, a year ago, he would have said, Bob Arum would have said, nobody in the history of boxing would ever touch VASYL Lomachenko. So to say that Shakur Stevenson will beat him, I think that that's a pretty interesting thing. Now, he also said that he believed that Shakur Stevenson would beat Devin Haney. And he said, look, man, I just think Shakur Stevenson's a better fighter than Devin Haney. Now, is that that shouldn't be much of a surprise. Number one, because Shakur Stevenson is an excellent fighter. And people, you can say what you want about the dude, but the dude can fight. The dude can fight coming forward. He can fight on the back foot. He's a southpaw, very, very defensively responsible, quick defense too, quick counters off of his defense, does not ignore the body, has enough pop to hurt you and keep you honest. All of those good things, man, are there with Shakur Stevenson. And from another aspect of it shouldn't surprise you, because Shakur Stevenson's really a top-ranked fighter, where I do believe that, and that is somebody I think that Bob Arum always invested in, and he believes is probably going to be there for the long haul, where it's not so much the case with Devin Haney, where Devin Haney signed, I think he signed like a 3-fight deal, something that's rumored to be a 3-fight deal, and very well may be out and leave Top Rank after his fight with VASYL Lomachenko if they're not locked down. Now, I will say I have a suspicion that he will stay with Top Rank, because I'm not sure if you still have all of those belts. I'm not sure where else you're going to go. I guess you could go back to the zone, but I'm not sure what fights are really going to be there for him, especially if he moves up to 140 pounds. But we'll see what happens with that. Now, who do I think will win between Shakur and Devin Haney? I'm on the camp with Bob Arum and that. Now, the other thing that I thought was really, really interesting, though, is that Bob Arum said that he believes both Devin Haney and Shakur would beat Gervonta Davis, but that he believed, like, hey, man, all of these fights could go either way. Like, they're all excellent fighters. They could all go, whichever way, because there's really not that much separation between them, and they're all really, really great fighters. Now, for me, this can be something where you say, hey, you're reading too much into this, but, hey, man, it is what it is. This is Boxing Talk. I know Bob Arum, if Bob Arum really thought those guys were going to beat Gervonta Davis, like, he would say it emphatically and say, oh, yeah, absolutely, because they're much better fighters than Gervonta, and Gervonta more than likely would not win that fight. Unless Bob Arum is mellowed with age, I think that he knows that that dude right there is a very, very serious threat to them. But more than anything, he also probably knows that fight's not going to happen, because those guys are, Bob Arum is not, Bob Arum is not somebody that is going to send either Devin Haney or Shakur Stevenson over to Gervonta so that he doesn't make money on those fights. I'm still agreeing with what Leonard Ellerby says in that regard. But all in all, very, very interesting conversation from Bob Arum. Happy birthday to him the day before yesterday, and his 91st birthday. Definitely knows the sport. But anyway, got another video where I'm going to talk a little bit more about him, because I see there's some just real crazy talk going on about who is really ruining boxing. But anyway, that's my take on the matter. You let me know what you think in the comment section. And with that, I'm out. Peace.